Welcome everyone to today's seminar on the internship opportunity at Mayor Cooper's office. My name is Maggie and I am the president of the Youth Volunteer Association of GNCA. And today's seminar is made possible by GNCA. We have Miss Christine Lai, the president of GNCA, with us here today. And of course, we have our guest speaker, Kathy Buggs. She is a director of neighborhoods, and we are so incredibly excited to have you join us. And we really appreciate you being here, telling us about this internship opportunity and helping us answer some of our questions.
So to explain to you why I am where I am. So native Nashvilleian, grew up here in Nashville, went to metro schools, went away to school, came back home, fast forward, married, children, grandchildren, and now this is my 21st year in the political world. I started out as a banker out of school. So I actually, before coming to work for the mayor's office, I worked for Congressman Jim Cooper. So I was with Congressman Cooper for 18 years and I oversaw his internship program, and we built that internship program from the ground up, and it became probably one of the best internships on the Hill in DC. So I am very proud to say that that's where my internship love started. I started working with Congressman Cooper, got him very involved with what we do with the interns. So that led to me leaving Congressman Cooper's office in 2019. And I came here to work for Mayor Cooper. Just so happened, they're brothers. And so I was working for one brother and then moved over to the other brother and picked up this internship program here. So a little bit about this program is we have 3 terms. We do spring, summer, and fall. They're generally college students. The spring and the fall internships are about 20 hours a week. It just determines on where you are in school and what your availability is. The summer internship program here is a full-time program. It's from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. We've got several different departments within the mayor's office. So you get an opportunity to select one of those departments to work with. May it be education, transportation, performance management, New Americans, neighborhood, community engagement. So there's several different departments inside of the mayor's office that those interns can actually work hand in hand with those departments. We go from the summer internship goes from mid-May to the beginning of August. So you're pretty much here all summer, and you get to actually experience what's going on in the city government and actually get to go to different events with the mayor, staff the mayor on things like that. So that's basically what the internship program here in a nutshell is.
Wow, that is great. First of all, I really think that your accomplishments in creating this whole internship opportunity is incredible. I think that's a great, opportunity for anyone who wants to go into the field to really get a great insight. And so that's incredible. So would you like us to maybe start asking you some of the questions that many of the students might have today?
Sure, because I can definitely go with the questions because I don't want to have to go back and repeat. So I would love for the questions to come first. And then if there's anything missing, I'll just follow that up at the end.
Okay, great. So for any student that was not able to be here today, how can they apply?
So we've got an intern link on the mayor is nashville.gov's website. And then you just click on internship. And from there, it gives you the listings of the terms that we've got, the actual spring, summer, or fall internship programs. And then you just go from there and complete the information. You'll email that information back to me. And then actually I was going through the selection for the summer now and starting to set up interviews for those. So.
Okay.
Process.
Yeah, that's great. Our next question is, how limited are these internship opportunities?
So when you say limited, what are you meaning when you say limited?
Is there a certain amount of students that you guys are looking for? So how available are these internship spots?
So no, I look at each individual application as they come in and what they're actually wanting to do within the mayor's office. The majority of the students that come are generally political science majors because they're wanting to touch their toes into the political water to see if that's what they really want to do, as I say, when they grow up. So there's no limitations. We try and make sure that they know all the ins and the outs about, government. Need it be federal government before or local government now. So there's no limitation. And I saw a question pop up about age. So it is a college age. So we do have, there's another program that is for undergraduate students that are still in high school, but it's not in the mayor's office, in a totally different department. But the age is college students. So.
Okay, great. So in addition to these age requirements, are there any other criterias that a student should know before they apply?
No, there's really, I again look at each individual application on its own merit. So it's just based on the strength of that particular student.
Okay,
and
great.
the interview process as well. So that's what determines the application.
Okay. And someone just asked me a question. So are these internships paid? Are they going to be credit or are they unpaid?
So they are unpaid, and I do have a few students last summer that worked toward college credit. So yes, it's up to you and the university to actually work out a program, but you can definitely get a college credit for that.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Also, are there any resident requirements? So does a student have to be at attending university in Nashville, or could they also be living outside of Nashville?
They can be living outside of Nashville. We just have to, and it's always good to connect the reason you're wanting to work within the metro government or the metro Nashville area. So there's always a connection there somewhere.
Okay. And what about citizenship? So if there is a student who is studying abroad from a different country, are they still able to apply for this internship?
If they're going to be here in the city, they can definitely apply, yes.
Okay.
We tried to do the virtual with a young lady that was in China, actually, and we just couldn't get things working well. So it's always best that they're here, especially now that we're trying to do everything back in person.
That's great. And so also, if anyone here today on today's Zoom have any questions, please pop them into the chat. And so, Kathy, would you like to explain like what a day of an intern might be like over the summer?
So that's an interesting question because they're in different departments. It's really hard to say. I can tell you what a day looks like in the Department of Neighborhoods for an intern. Because we've had COVID, we've got tornadoes, floods, we've had a bombing here in the city. So we have been basically doing a lot of constituent service work. So we're just trying to make sure that people are getting the response, the things that they need as far as floods and tornadoes and the assistance. So we've become more of a constituent-based service here in the the neighborhood office. So it's basically reaching out to constituents, helping them with their needs that they need, connecting them with the right departments within Metro. The others I know are always working on projects because I see them running around with their notebooks in their hands or their laptops in their hands. So there's always something going on. But what I like to do for, especially the summer interns, when we've got a larger group and we've got so many students here, to take at least one day a week to actually have them all come together, have lunch together, and maybe just tour different areas in the city. Some people don't know where the state capitol is. Some people don't know where other things in the city. So we try and make at least one day a week a fun day.
That's great. So someone did ask, what should the hours that they should anticipate to work on the weekly basis?
It's a 40-hour work week. So it's generally, our office is open from 8 to 5, but I generally have the interns come in from 9 to 5, unless they're working with a particular department and they've got to be out or they need to be here for whatever reason.
Okay. And you did, I think you mentioned this earlier, but so this internship are not for students who are going into undergrad, but for students that are already in their undergraduate.
So if you've got a high school student that's been accepted to a university and they're going into their first year of college in the fall, then yes, we will definitely take a look at that application.
Okay.
So undergraduates, I mean, students that are still in high school, middle school, that want to get a taste of it or just shadow, that's a different department. It's not here in the mayor's office.
Okay. And if a student is choosing a department, where could one find the information about that?
That's on the website as well. So it lists all of the different intern opportunities there.
Okay, great.
.gov.
Yeah. Could you maybe elaborate on some of the departments that people could apply to?
Yeah, so we've got the affordable housing department, which of course it just speaks for itself when I say affordable housing. So we've got 2 ladies that strictly focus on affordable housing. And of course, we all know that that's a huge issue in every city right now. We've got our communications team, which is our press secretary, our speechwriter, people that just generally do all of the communication for the mayor's office. We've got a gentleman that's the director for actual social media. So that communications team would basically work on those projects. We've got the economic development team that does, economic development, which is the ECD, small businesses and things like that that are in the city. We've got environmental sustainability. So if you're one of those persons that's a green person and wants to recycle, then that's the department for you. We've got, of course, the New Americans. The gentleman that has that basically reaches out to all of the New American communities in the city. And we do, there's a My City Academy where if you want to be a part of that, there's an 8-month process that you go through that process and you graduate and you get a certificate. And it basically just gives you information about what's going on in the city as a new American to this country. We've got performance management. If you're a numbers person and you want to keep up with numbers and books and budgets and things like that. We've got transportation, which of course is a big thing, your busing and things like that. And then we've got a department that does youth violence and education. So, and that basically just is what it says. So those are the different departments that we have within the mayor's office.
Wow, that's great. There's like a really large variety. So I'm pretty sure, there's students who are definitely going to be able to find, a department that caters to their interest.
Exactly.
So did you ever attend one of these internships? Because
I'm really old, so I'm going to say there was nothing.
Yeah, because I would love to know if there are like students who maybe came to you afterwards and told you about like how this experience really helped shape their future outlook on their career. Are there any of those instances?
Well, yes, and as a matter of fact, there are 2 people here in this office that were my former interns in Congress.
Wow.
So it just warms my heart to see that I call them my children have grown up and now have real jobs. So there are 2 of those. And then on the city council, there's one intern that I had back at the very beginning of our time in Congressman Cooper's office, which is now the council person. So those stories that I see, and then, they're attorneys. And so they've got some great stories that they can share about what, their experience was. And I was hoping that we would have one of the interns here so that she could actually speak as well, but she's already gone for the day. So she's got this afternoon.
Yeah.
But that's what makes me happy when I see an intern that's gone through the process and now is actually giving back to the community.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So someone did ask in the chat, could graduate students apply for this internship?
We have had a couple of graduate students apply.
Okay. Yeah. So, so are there any other like additional like comments that you want to add on about this internship? About, you know, like the scope of it as well as like what kind of targets?
Well, and let me say, all internships are great internships. So wherever you choose to go, put everything that you got into, because you never know what becomes from that internship, or the connections that you make. I think that's the really good part of being in an internship. Anywhere that you go, you make great connections, you meet great friends, and you can actually take that on, to do other things with. So I just look back at all the years that I've done this, and the kids that have gone through the program and what they've done in their lives now, which is pretty amazing. So I just say that, if you're interested, go ahead and apply. And if you're interested in any other internships that are not just this particular one, but any other in the city, definitely do so.
Yeah, that's great. Another thing is, so when you're evaluating like the applications, what are you looking for in the students?
Um, I I look, and the reason I do this is because just they're so competitive, because we get so many applications, and I always want the stars to actually be able to take advantage of this, because you can tell the ones that are doing it just because somebody told them to, or the ones that really want to do it. So I look at their writing skills, and then I look at their grades, and those are the two most important things for me, because then I know their work ethic, and I know that they're going to put their all into the internship program.
Yes. Yeah, that's great. So given COVID-19, is there any like vaccination requirements for interns to report in order to, work?
Well, there are not any requirements. I know we are in a building that requires, or that strongly suggests your mask.
Yeah.
Because of the numbers going up and down, we here in this office are definitely always masked. I'm in my office with my door closed, so that's that. But generally, when we're out and about, I am almost 100% sure that everyone here in this office has been vaccinated and boosted as well. So we basically just take it really serious, because we, as a city government and a mayor's office, are pushing out for people to be vaccinated, and it really doesn't look good if we're not. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Also, going back to the application process, because I'm sure a lot of the students on the Zoom today are really interested in applying. What does the application process look like?
The application process. Now, if this is for summer, just to give you a heads up, and I will make an exception because you guys are such a great group of kids, but our summer internship program application deadline was February 28th. And I know we've been talking for a while, so you guys have missed it just about a few weeks, but if you'll let me know if you're applying that you were on this conversation today, then I will definitely consider the application. But it's just basically your application. You're going to do a resume, a cover letter, 2 letters of recommendation, and writing sample. So that's basically your application in itself. And it's all there on the website.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you so much for letting us still apply, because I'm sure a lot of us weren't aware, but we're still really interested. So thank you for that.
And I just dropped the link in the chat so that they can click and go straight to that particular site.
Okay, great. And there are a few people who just joined us. So if you guys have any questions at all, please pop them into the chat. Yeah, and so let's see if there's any that comes in. So what exactly are the dates of the internship? When does it start?
Or
When does it
for
end?
summer,
Yes, that's correct.
the summer term is May 23rd through August 5th.
Okay. Okay. And if there are still like students still in school in May 23rd, how would that work?
Generally, like, we like for them all to start together, and that's why we pushed it so far down in May, because most schools are out at the beginning of May. And when I say most schools, we just basically kind of looked around at the different cities that were applying in the past to see when they were out of school, and generally by that time, all the students are out. So if
Okay.
the student that may still be in school, we can definitely try and figure something out.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. So, adding on to that, if there are students who need to have some kind of like accommodated schedule, is that possible if they're taking some kind of summer classes?
Yes, well, definitely. I am one that believes that we do not interfere with the students' roles in their classes. So if there's something that, if you need to be in class, I say go to class, don't come here. So anything that we can do to actually make that work for them, if they're selected, then yes.
It's great. Um, so in addition to like all of the amazing opportunities that you've mentioned, what are some kind of like opportunity or events that students could be looking forward to when they join this internship?
Uh, well, it's really hard to say because a lot of things go on in the summer. There's just a lot of different events that happen. A lot of different events that happen that, they could possibly staff the mayor at, that's going on, that the city's opening back up. There are things that will happen if they're like, we've got the Cherry Blossom Festival that's coming up. Uh, things that are happening down on the river. If it's a ribbon cutting or groundbreaking or something like that, then we can try and get those students to be able to attend that, just so they can see the day-to-day process as to what the mayor does when he goes out.
Yeah, that's great. And will like the internship be mainly based in the downtown area in the mayor's office, or will it
Yes,
be okay?
yes.
Great. Um, so will there be any, instances where students are going to be leaving downtown for any like projects or any other events?
That is a possibility, depending on what department they're in and depending on what that particular department is working on. If they're out and about, then they would actually probably suggest the students. I know that there's one gentleman that does a lot of things in the community, and he likes to take the interns with him as well. So, yes.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so let's see. So there are several people who just joined us. Again, if you guys have any questions, please pop them in the chat. Let's see. So you mentioned that there are like credit hours that you can gain from this internship.
Mhm.
Are those college credits that could be used for college waivers, etc.?
That's up to the university. So we don't give those credits. The university works out something with the student. So it's up to the counselor and the student. And we just basically sign off on that they've been here, they've done their job, and then that's how the university works out the credit hours.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. So there is a spring term, a summer term, and a fall term. Is that correct?
Correct.
So when is the deadline for the fall term application?
The fall term is August 12th.
Okay. And so if a student is looking forward to applying for the fall term, can they do it right now?
Sure.
Okay, that's great.
As a matter of fact, I've got a couple of fall applications now.
Oh,
So
wow.
I just hold them until fall time, and then we look at those students. Yes.
That's great. So if anyone have any questions, please put them into the chat.
I think they're all questioned out.
Yeah, I think they are. Well, those were wonderful answers. I'm sure everyone got a really good sense of what this internship is like, as well as the application process. Let's see. So regarding the writing portion of the application, is there like a format or content required for the writing?
No, it's actually just a writing sample, no more than 500 words.
Okay.
And it's just basically whatever you want to write on.
Okay, so is there like no prompt to it?
No, not at all. But let me say this, that when I was in Congressman Cooper's office, we would assign a book to read and at the end, write a report. Here, what we do is, because you're working with different departments, we just want to get a summary of what you've worked on and basically let us know, or let me know, what it is that you would change within that department that would make it work better. So
Okay.
that gives you just a little bit of an assignment as you are here doing your work as an intern. There's still a little bit of homework.
Yes. Mm,
Somebody's asking about career requirements. No, there's no career requirements.
So so basically, so if someone is like currently majoring in like economics or something that's completely unrelated to political science, are they still able to be a part of this internship?
Yes, because if they're economics major, then more than likely they would want to do something within the performance management or the community, the economic and development department, because that would be something that they would probably be more interested in. So yes.
That's great. Let's see. And if someone after the Zoom has like a question about like what department would be the best, would fit the best in, could they contact you, or is there someone
Sure.
else that they should contact?
Sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of the answers are already answered. Is there any other questions here today? Oh, so could you share a little bit more about what are like the most popular departments?
There's, I don't know what, of course, I would say the Office of Neighborhoods would be the most popular department. I think it's just depending on the student and what it is that they want to be involved in. So it's just really hard to say. I think all of the departments are great departments. It's just depending on what your niche is.
Okay. Yes.
Hey Maggie, this is Prince. I just joined, and now thank you, Kathy. I missed most of the Q&A from you, but I would like to ask a question. First off, I want to say thank you for joining these younger generations to answer their questions. That's really meaningful to the Greater Nashville Chinese Association for sure. And I believe I saw many names from the Vanderbilt Student Association too, that it's very beneficial for them to know about this internship. Only question I have, maybe that out of my curiosity, I'm way out of the scope of applying to this internship. I'm way older. I wonder, could you share some examples of how interns benefit from this internship, or any successful stories?
You missed my successful stories, Prince. I just said that we've got two. We've got our deputy mayor is one of my former interns, and then
Okay.
staff assistant is one of our one of my former interns from when I was in Congressman Cooper's office. So I think that when the students are here and they really work hard and they are really dedicated, once they graduate and they can keep a connection with the office, we always
Mhm.
back and pull from the internship pool and as a first hire. So that's, I think, just if you come in and do what you're supposed to do and prove yourself, it always pays off.
Wow, that's impressive. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So adding on to what Prince just asked, are there any like kind of preparations that students may need to do before they start this internship?
No, just come in and ready, be eager to learn.
It's a great advice.
Mhm.
It's currently 3:40. We still have 20 minutes left with you today. Anyone have any more questions? Please put them in the chat. Kathy, is there anything else that you want to add on to what you've said already today?
No, I think unless you guys have got some additional questions, I think I have covered the entire program in itself. Again, just the students that come, they get to meet so many different people, within the city government. So it teaches them how the city works. There's several different projects that we're trying to start here in the mayor's office, and just to know that you're going to be a part of that program and working on that program. Last year we started a neighborhood academy, which is an academy where people that live in the city can actually be, last year we had to do it virtually, but you just learn about the way the city government functions. It teaches you so who you can call if this problem is going on. And it just gives you an insight on who is who within Metro government. Somebody graduated. You did graduate. That's right, Prince. That's why I know you from the Neighborhood Academy. But that was actually spearheaded by a former intern. And he helped put that program together, a student at Belmont. So I just say that when you're here and you help do those things, it goes on. And so we're starting our second academy next month, as a matter of fact. So
wow, that's really incredible.